Welcome to the Bigger Picture TV. Hello, my name is Radha Mohan Das, or Richard if you prefer, and I'm a member of Bhaktivedanta Manor, which is the biggest Hare Krishna temple in Europe actually. Of course, this magnificent mock Tudor mansion and estate was donated to the society in 1973 by the late great George Harrison. So all kinds of things go on here these days. We have open days, we have a farm, the school, a lot of all kinds of things. They're even looking after the gardens there. We have education, courses and workshops and huge public festivals. So as you can see, it's a great place, it's a sanctuary for the soul. Everyone is welcome. My name's Radha Mohan Das, and I've been associated with this temple for about 25 years now. For 14 of those years I was a monk in the traditional saffron clothes. Now, these days I'm a married man, but I still work for the temple. Regardless of one's spiritual or religious or atheistic or whatever beliefs, obviously to look after the body and health is important. Obviously, for example, exercise is important. It's not fundamental to our teachings, because we believe, of course, the highest type of welfare is not physical but spiritual. But we do have hatha yoga classes, and hatha yoga, that's the breathing exercises, is of course it's been practiced in India by all kinds of people for thousands and thousands of years, and we have courses on this here at the temple. So these things are very good. Stretching the body, and of course it's a spiritual and physical pursuit combined.
Yeah.
What's also important though is not just exercise for the body, but also a diet. That's also related. For example, we would say that the yoga of eating, as it were, is what we call the dharmic way of eating. The best way of eating, according to the ancient religion of India, would of course be to be vegetarian. That's the ideal. Here at the Hare Krishna temple, we abstain from eating meat, fish or eggs, and we don't even have mushrooms, garlic or onions either. So, and there are certain fasting days too. Well, I'll be honest with you, I actually struggle on fasting days, because I'm a big guy, I like to eat a lot anyway. But even a bit of fasting from the Ayurvedic point of view is actually very good for clearing the stomach, giving it some rest. So I believe that there's a connection there between, I think, the spiritual and the physical. And that will be manifest, and I believe an automatic result of practicing getting up early in the morning, going to bed early, doing your meditation, breathing exercises and your mantra meditation is actually physically good for you. Bhagavad Gita, but also the Srimad Bhagavatam, and also the Chaitanya Chaitamrita. These are our main scriptures. From many others, these are the creme de la creme of the scriptures from our point of view. Now, in terms of how important it is, for us personally as practitioners, or when one gets serious, we would certainly suggest that it's important to study the books. But actually there's something else going on here, because we say for the transcendental Hare Krishna mantra, which sounds like this: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is a spiritual sound vibration, and it's purifying for the soul. It awakens the soul. So even if one doesn't understand what it means or the philosophy behind it, one will still get the spiritual benefit. And that's why we're quite famed for going out on the streets with symbols and cartels, whether it's in central London, Piccadilly or Oxford Street, with our instruments. Because what we're doing is we're trying to do it for the benefit of everybody.
And is there an actual tune to the mantra? Does it matter how you say it, or it has to flow?
The mantra is generally done in two different ways. One is through meditation, which is more, I suppose you could say, slightly more like a prayer. We have our beads here. We have our middle finger and our thumb, and we chant the mantra whilst twizzling each bead before going on to the next bead. So this is one which is called japa meditation, and that type of portrayal of the mantra is like this: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, etc. Full-time members, we do about 2 hours worth of this every day on our beads.
Do you move the beads through your fingers with each recital of the mantra?
Yeah, each recital will then move on to the next bead, and just like in many traditions, you would twiddle the bead like that. It helps with concentration and focus, helps get your mind off other things. Even the wood itself is sacred. But the other way, of course, is we do singing and dancing to the Hare Krishna tune as well. And generally, what you would put quite open-minded really with a different style of tunes, as long as others can hear and follow. Back in 1969, the Hare Krishna mantra got to, I think it was number 8 in the top of the pops, and it was a record produced by George Harrison, but sung by young American devotees. And it was Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, etc. So there's many different tunes. Some are a lot more complex than that, but I prefer the simple ones, to be honest. It's easy to remember and easy to recite too. But of course the meaning, it's a prayer. Dear Lord Krishna, O Supreme Enjoyer, please engage me in your loving devotion. So the soul can understand that and responds to that, even if the one cannot hear it or understand it. It has that effect. Allow me to introduce my good friend Srinivas Prabhu, who is a brahmachari, a monk here at Bhaktivedanta Manor. And of course he's wearing the orange because he's a celibate monk, and he's going to tell us a little bit about that, I think.
Well, the main thing is your consciousness. External dress is secondary. The renounced dress, the saffron dress, signifies renunciation, and it helps us to focus on Krishna, and it also gains respect from general public. Saffron signifies it pacifies the mind, and also it helps those who are wearing this dress, who are practicing, to maintain high standards of renunciation, because the higher understanding is we are not this body, we are spirit soul, and our relationship is with Krishna. Everything in this world is temporary. Jesus Christ also said that. What's the use of gaining all the world if you lose your immortal soul? This is why Srila Prabhupada, he introduced the saffron dress in the Western countries to show people the different levels of advancement in spiritual life. And those who wear white, they may be married, planning to get married, or they're coming out of the married life. But the saffron signifies renunciation and how to use everything for Krishna's service. And the tilak mark is to show how this body, we mark the different parts of our body in the names of Lord Vishnu, and it's to show that this body is a temple of Lord Vishnu. And anyone who sees a tilak mark, they get a lot of piety. So that's the benefit of having a tilak mark. That's why we wear it.
So welcome to the George Harrison Garden. As many people already know, George Harrison sadly passed away through cancer in November 2001. Anyway, so since then, years went by, but from about 2006 onwards, we were working with Olivia Harrison, his widow, who oversaw the project, along with some professional gardeners, and even to the point of taking some plants out of Friar Park, where George's Harrison lived, and planting them here, or at least some of the similar species that George would have liked, particularly those that grow throughout the year. So the George Harrison Garden, it's adorned with stone sculptures, and including benches, and including quotes and carvings from his songs, which have spiritual meanings. So let's have a quick walk through the garden. The amazing thing about this garden, as quoted by Olivia Harrison herself, and even BBC Gardeners World Monty Don, is that a garden is what you put into it. It can mean what you like out of it. So different people approach this garden in different ways, according to whatever, their own path perhaps. So this path here is an H shape, the symbol of infinity, and yet all the way around it there's this kind of end of infinity. And at different points, like an octagon actually, there's different 8 corners, or ironically corners to a circle around here, where there's references to his songs. So it's very much about a personal journey, at the same time being a universal journey as well. And all guests are welcome to come here and meditate, or to basically walk through and enjoy. We'll go inside. So here is part of the George Harrison garden, hidden away in various kind of places and enclaves. We'll have different references or quotes from George Harrison's songs, which means something spiritual. And here we have "I look for the pure in heart," which is actually kind of typifies George's approach, really. I mean, I had the fortune to have met him myself just a couple of times at the temple, very briefly, of course, as I'm not, we're not on equal levels. Obviously, I'm way below in terms of fame and everything like that. But from my brief impression of him, he appeared to be someone who was not pretentious. It's almost he had an issue with pretentiousness or superficiality. He was a very, very genuine, down-to-earth person that appeared to be very detached, actually, from stardom. In fact, even to the point of not really wanting to be treated any different to anyone else. I guess he hadn't been treated like anyone else ever since maybe the early 60s. And deep down, I think George was a genuinely humble person who is genuinely detached, I think, and could tell the difference between a sincere person and someone who wasn't sincere. And I guess being an ex-Beatle and everything else that would bring with it, he'd learnt about that. He'd learnt about who was perhaps interested in only money, perhaps, or had other incentive. So George was an intelligent, sharp person, and that is again manifested in his songs, and we've tried to complement that in this garden.